Today, we dive deep into the fascinating world of Night City to take a closer look at one of its most enigmatic personalities, Evelyn Parker. She was an exceptionally intelligent, ambitious, and beautiful woman who always strove for more in life and ultimately paid the highest price for it. Evelyn's greatest dream had always been to become a renowned actress. And like everyone trying to break into this tough industry, she realized that earning a living as an aspiring actor is not easy. She knew that the best way to achieve her goal was through money and connections with the big shots of Night City. Her best chance to get both came when she got the opportunity to work at Clouds as a doll. The Clouds is an exclusive establishment in Night City, known for its high-quality entertainment services, which can be very intense. It's especially famous for its dolls who are specially trained to fulfill the fantasies and wishes of their clients through conversations, virtual experiences, or other forms of interaction that can go in any imaginable direction. Clouds offers a luxurious atmosphere and is a popular meeting place for Night City's rich and powerful. Thanks to special doll implants and her charming and engaging nature, she quickly became one of the most successful dolls at Clouds. Her clients appreciated Evelyn for her intelligence, adaptability, and ability to fully meet their needs. It's likely that Evelyn worked at Clouds for several years. For reasons that remain unclear, Evelyn eventually stopped pursuing her dream of becoming an actress. Maybe she didn't meet the right people. Perhaps her talent wasn't enough. I guess things didn't go as she had imagined, which might explain her later plan to put everything on one card. At Clouds, she also met Judy Alvarez, who was working there as a brain dance editor. The two became friends. Some believe there was more than just a platonic friendship between Judy and Evelyn. It's not out of the question, but it doesn't seem very likely. Judy was with Maiko at Clouds, and such a relationship would surely have caused a lot of problems. Later, when V met them, there was no indication of anything beyond a sisterly friendship. Evelyn stayed at Clouds, and eventually, she got a really important client, Yorinobu Arasaka. Again, it was her nature that ensured she became a regular visitor of Yorinobu, with their meetings always taking place in his penthouse suite at Konpeki Plaza. The Voodoo Boys, a group from Pacifica, learned about this and contacted Evelyn. They offered her a lot of eddies to make a brain dance recording of Yorinobu's suite. She did, and that's how she learned what it was about, a new relic prototype. This relic version 2.0 was designed to install and activate an engram in a new organic body. This relic already contained an engram, that of the legendary rocker Johnny Silverhand. Evelyn immediately realized this was extremely valuable tech. She knew that if she could get her hands on the relic, she would be set for life, and her days as a doll would be over. Evelyn also learned that Yorinobu was connected with Netwatch. Perhaps that's why she approached Netwatch to negotiate a deal. She knew Netwatch was interested in the chip. However, it's unclear why Netwatch agreed to the deal. Yorinobu apparently had no demands regarding the chip, while Evelyn wanted substantial money, protection, and ultimately a new identity. There must have been a reason why Netwatch went along with it, but for our look at Evelyn, that doesn't matter. Having secured a deal with Netwatch, Evelyn now needed to acquire the relic. To do this, Evelyn hired the experienced fixer Dexter Deshawn to plan and execute the heist at Konpeki Plaza. Deshawn assembled a team consisting of 2 mercenaries and a netrunner. One of the mercenaries, V, handled the reconnaissance and negotiation, and they met at Lizzie's bar. Evelyn chose this location deliberately. At the bar, they could discuss such delicate plans undisturbed, and it was perfect that Evelyn knew someone there who was familiar with raw brain dance recordings. It was Judy, who had meanwhile moved to Lizzie's and was now working there as a brain dance editor and producer. The reconnaissance with Deshawn's team went well, and Evelyn showed the mercenary the brain dance recording from Konpeki with Judy's help. They quickly reached an agreement, but Evelyn made a rookie mistake. She offered the mercenaries to bypass the fixer so she could get more money herself. Such special deals can backfire badly, but that didn't matter later anyway. The heist was carried out and went completely wrong. In the end, the relic initially ended up in the slot of one of the mercenaries on Evelyn's advice. Later, the chip switched to the other, but she didn't know that. Since neither Deshawn nor anyone else contacted her, she must have realized how disastrously everything had gone. She feared that she might have been found out, so she hid in Lizzie's bar under the protection of the Moxes. Apparently, nothing further happened. Yorinobu never seemed to suspect Evelyn, or perhaps he was preoccupied with other matters. With no immediate threat, Evelyn resumed her normal routine. After all, it would be quite noticeable if Evelyn suddenly was no longer available to Yorinobu. Logic dictates this. Why wouldn't Yorinobu want to meet with Evelyn again after a while, since he was a fan of hers, so to speak? So, she returned to Clouds and did what a doll does. But as far as we know, the Voodoo Boys were just waiting for Evelyn to reappear on their radar. They were, of course, not thrilled that Evelyn wanted to betray them. They surely knew right away who was behind the failed action. One wonders why Evelyn didn't consider the dangers posed by the Voodoo Boys. I think she was aware of them, but probably underestimated the group and overestimated the security in the dollhouse. So, things happened as they had to. The Voodoo Boys hacked Evelyn's doll implant so severely that her cyberware was massively damaged while she was with a client. At that moment, Evelyn's life was effectively over, though no one realized it yet. A disgusting jerk named Oswald Forrest, also known as Woodman, took care of the matter. After realizing how severely Evelyn was damaged, he wrote her off as a total loss, but not without taking personal advantage of Evelyn's unfortunate situation. He knew Evelyn was aware of everything but had no chance to defend herself or even make a sound, and so he assaulted her. Afterward, he handed her over to the sleazy fixer Finn Gerstadt, simply called Fingers, a ripperdoc who usually treated the cheaper joy toys who made their living on Jig Jig Street. He tried to fix Evelyn, but in the end, he couldn't achieve anything with his means. So, he turned to the local fixer, the infamous Wakako. She essentially sold Evelyn as doll waste to the scavengers. Scavengers are like vultures. They deal in second-hand cyberware, often regardless of whether it's in dead or living people. Additionally, some use the living victims to create black brain dances where extreme things happen. That's exactly what was done with Evelyn. It's assumed the scavengers initially fixed her up enough, which was probably not a problem due to the numerous spare parts these rats have. Then they used Evelyn in their depraved brain dance productions, which ran for several days. Unfortunately, her doll chip, which resets experiences after each session, no longer worked. Judy and one of the mercenaries involved in the heist rescued her. They brought the comatose and surely severely traumatized Evelyn to Judy's apartment. The once charming woman had become a total wreck, mentally destroyed. But she came around again, yet the events had been too drastic. Ultimately, the woman who once dreamed of becoming an actress, being successful, and living a good life saw no other way for herself but to end her life. Judy found her dead in the bathtub, and thus the chapter of Evelyn ended. That's all we know about Evelyn. Nothing is known about her past, except that she wanted to achieve more, which suggests she didn't come from particularly wealthy circumstances. Interestingly, in retrospect, we can gauge Evelyn's status by her hair. At the beginning, Evelyn has blue hair. Blue often stands for coolness, intellect, and mystique, making her a mystery. While with Yorinobu, she has blonde hair. Blonde has always symbolized fertility, strength, and self-transformation, which fits perfectly here. When found by the scavs, her hair is dark gray. It clearly stands for a dark mood and deep sadness. Later, in Judy's apartment, her hair is reddish, which for me stands for conflict and danger, already indicating things wouldn't end well. Finally, when Evelyn is found in the bathtub, She has black hair, her natural hair color, and it's no wonder that black stands for authenticity but also for death. Evelyn's body was cremated, and her ashes were interred in Night City's columbarium. Her niche reads, "She died valiantly fighting the system." The inscription leaves room for interpretation, which I leave to you. Rest in peace, Evelyn.